Are we all set on that side, Allie?
I'm trying to refresh. Now we're live, yep.
And is the chat up and running?
I can say something in it, so.
Perfect. All right. All right, we'll get started in about 30 seconds here. Okay, well, welcome everybody. We're happy you're here tonight. We want to first start out by saying congratulations for your acceptance into the Bloomington Online School. Just to clarify right up front, this information session is for K-5 Bloomington Online students. The secondary information sessions will be coming later, either next week, I believe, or the week after. So look for more information if you're a secondary family. This specific presentation is just for K-5 students. Sorry if you can hear my 3-year-old in the background there. All right, let's go to the next slide. So tonight we're here to welcome you, congratulate you on getting in, and also share some information with you. So we're going to do some introductions. We're going to share some contact information with you, an updated timeline with some dates, some updated information about the Bloomington Online School, and then we're going to tell you about a bunch of resources that will be going out via email to the Bloomington Online families tomorrow. And then at the end, we're going to save some time for Q&A. So you can go ahead throughout the presentation and chat your questions into the chat box that is next to the video. Allie, you're the one who can see it. So is it pretty visible?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. It makes sense where people will chat their questions in?
Yep, it's directly to the right of our screen.
Perfect. So we will have you chat those questions in. We have a big time at the end for that Q&A, but you can feel free to chat the questions in as ideas come to you as we're presenting information tonight. So we will start with some quick introductions. My name is Holly Skadsum, and I am the Bloomington Online School Program Coordinator for the elementary level. I'm also a digital learning coordinator for Bloomington Public Schools, so I've been in the district for about 10 years. Previously a 5th grade teacher at Normandale Hills. And I'll pass it off to Andrew to introduce himself.
Thank you, Holly. Andrew Wilkins, I'm the principal at Washburn Elementary School and also the new principal of the Bloomington Online School. Welcome. I've been a principal in Bloomington for the 8th year. Overall, I've been a principal for 14 years, actually 15 years, education for 23 years. So I'm looking forward to learning and growing and meeting all of you as we start this journey together. So welcome.
I would also like to introduce Allie. So Allie, go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Allie Kalkman, and I have taught kindergarten and 1st grade in the district, most recently kindergarten at Washburn.
And Allie is one of our fantastic Bloomington Online teachers this year. So thanks, Allie, for joining us. She's going to be monitoring the chat for us and sending questions our way at the end. So, all right, we got introductions done. Andrew, I'll pass it to you.
All right, thank you. So we're going to start off with some contact information because everybody would like to know who or where to reach out to if they have any questions. Again, Bloomington Online School is partnered with Washburn Elementary School. So our physical address is 8401 Xerxes Avenue South in Bloomington. Our main office number is 952-681-5500. Susan Smith is the secretary there at Washburn Elementary School, and she'll also be the secretary for Bloomington Online School. So you can call that number with any question that you have, and Susan will route that question to the appropriate person for an answer in a timely fashion. And also, if you have any attendance issues or concerns, the number's listed there, 952-681-5502. But if you need anything, any questions, anything at all, that's where you can reach out to for your first stop for help.
We do have an updated timeline with you for tonight for some dates. So we're here tonight to do your family welcome and info. Coming up next week, and you should have saw some information about this in your acceptance letter, are our grade level orientation meetings. So those are happening next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And we'll share a little bit more about what's happening at those meetings later on in the presentation. On August 20th, the teacher classroom placement info will come out. This will be district-wide, so Bloomington Online School will get their teacher information the same time that everybody else will. Back to school week for our teachers is August 24th through the 28th. That week will also be the week that special education will be doing intake meetings with families. So if your child's in the special education program, they will have a meeting that week. August 26th and 31st are our virtual assessment days. And will also be that chance to meet your child's teacher. And we will be doing those online. And more information about signing up for those will be coming soon to Bloomington Online families. The next piece, we will be doing a material pickup that will include hands-on materials that your students are going to need for the first month of school, as well as their device. So we will be doing that pickup on September 1st and 2nd. And families will come to Washburn and pick that up at their designated times. And we will send more information about those times as it gets closer. And then our first day of school is September 8th.
And then one follow-up with that, as far as the schedule goes, because we had a question about this last time. First day of school is September 8th, and that does follow the approved school calendar for Bloomington Public Schools. So we will follow the same calendar as the brick and mortar school. So that question came up earlier, so I thought I'd throw that out there right now. So we follow the same schedule. As far as school info, Bloomington Online School started very timidly with one teacher per grade level. And as you can see, over the last few weeks, it has grown quite a bit. And so we have 3 teachers at kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, and 4th grade. And we will have 2 teachers at 3rd and 5th grade. So lots of opportunities for lots of great learning.
And I'll just follow up because this also was a question in the last session. Just so we're clear, these teachers who we have hired for Bloomington Online School are Bloomington teachers. They're all TOSAs, so they're teachers on special assignment. So that means they've been in the district for at least 3 years, most of them a lot longer. And these teachers will be teaching in the Bloomington Online School for the entire year. So no matter what happens in the default model, whether we move from hybrid to distance learning to some other model, the Bloomington Online School is that consistent option. So we have asked families, all of you, to commit to 1 full year in the Bloomington Online School. And so our teachers are also committing to 1 full year of teaching in the Bloomington Online School. So your student will have the same teacher the entire year. And all of our teachers, we're working on finishing up staffing this week, but all of our teachers that have come on board so far are extremely excited about this online opportunity. And we're really excited about the staff, and we're very excited to introduce you to them very soon. That being said, we did want to introduce you, give you a little bit of info tonight. We have finished up staffing our specialists. So our physical education teacher this year is going to be Janelle Blossingame from Westwood. Our music teacher for Bloomington Online School is going to be Kelly Urico from Washburn. And our art teacher is Robin Kruger from Olson. So if we have any Westwood or Washburn or Olson families out there, these might be some friendly faces. So these will be our specialist teachers for the entirety of the year for Bloomington Online School at the K-5 level. And as I said, we are finishing up staffing for the other grade levels this week, and we hope to give that information out. Well, we will. We will know who those teachers are by your orientation meetings next week.
We also wanted to share tonight a sample schedule with you, and this is for a grade level. It'll be different depending on the grade of your child. But again, just an example of what the day may look like. The day will start in the morning at 9 a.m. With a morning meeting and what we call a daily launch. So your child will have time to socially develop, not only with the classroom teacher, but their peers also. And so that'll be a great time for everybody to get together and decide on what's going to happen for the day. And then as you can see, we move through whole group lessons, which could be in reading or math, and then go into some station rotation where the students will have an opportunity in smaller groups to do some independent practice and some hands-on. And then back up for a whole group, and then lunch and an active brain break. During those times, one of the questions came up earlier in our earlier session about, is my child going to be on a computer all day? And no, the intent is not for them to be on a computer all day, but there will be times where they will be doing a whole group and need to be on the computer. And then when they do some of the station rotation independent practice, there'll be opportunities where they will do something on the side. It might be something hands-on. It may be a worksheet or document that was shared with them at pickup that they would take home and work on. So it's not all FaceTime on a computer. There also is some hands-on practice built into the schedule during the day. As you'll see in the afternoon, we have a specialist rotation, and we just introduced you to our specialist. So they will get Phi-Ed, art and music, just like they would if they were in the brick and mortar school. They will get those specialists during the week, so they'll have those same opportunities. And then in the afternoon, again, we have another block of full group, and then small group rotation stations for math, and then an end of the day wrap up. End of the day wrap up will also give the teacher some time to do some one-on-one check-ins with students and just continue to develop those relationships and helping students get what they need.
So we are going to talk about quite a few things that will come to an email. Will come in an email to your families tomorrow. So that first thing that you're going to see via email tomorrow is a family placement request form. I know that Andrew and I have both been getting a lot of emails from Bloomington online families asking to be placed into the same classroom as maybe another child from the same school, or different asks about that. So our goal with placement is to create a balanced classroom and to really consider a lot of different criteria when creating those classrooms, but also taking in the input and feedback from you as families. So what you will find in your email is a family placement request form. You're going to fill one of those out for each of your children who are in Bloomington Online School. Then Andrew and I will look at that feedback, and we'll work with teachers to build those class lists.
Also, one of the things that we will be asking you to consider is adding your family's information to the Bloomington Online School Community Directory. And in there, you'll be able to indicate interest in learning pods. Again, as Holly alluded to, you will get an email tomorrow that's going to have lots and lots of information in it. And one of those pieces of information will be a form to fill out for the directory. The directory will be published to all BOSS Bloomington Online School families next week. One thing to keep in mind is that when you are sharing information, it will be published publicly. So that information's out there. So we just wanted to make you aware of that prior. But the directory will be a great way for you to connect with other people that are part of Bloomington Online School, and then look for those learning pods that people have been learning about, and I guess we've all been learning about in our COVID era. But look for that information tomorrow, and please consider adding your name and information to that.
The next thing that we're going to be sending home in that email tomorrow is an interest form asking families to show interest if they'd like to join our Bloomington Online School Family Advisory. And so you can see some of the things we've listed here that we would ask that advisory to do. We're looking for feedback. We're looking for different ways to help us develop the Bloomington Online School as it is brand new. We want to help connect other Bloomington Online families, develop some community events, some community building events for families, potential programs or clubs, and then a chance for us to get together and problem solve and brainstorm around any things that might come up as the year goes on in Bloomington Online School.
Grade level orientation meetings, we talked about it a little bit earlier and had the dates up there. Those meetings will give you the chance to meet the grade level teacher, connect with other grade level families, receive your grade level school supply list, excuse me, walk through a day in the life of your child online, receive updated dates and information, and ask questions. Earlier tonight, the question was asked if the student should attend this meeting. We think it'd be a great opportunity for you and your child to both be together to meet the grade level teachers. Again, on the night of the orientation, we won't have specific teachers lined up for your student, but we will know the grade level teachers. So it'll be an opportunity to meet all those teachers that will be in that grade and the teacher that your child may possibly be able to have. So keep that in mind. And also, if there's any other family members that may be helping you along the way in your educational journey, if you would like them to join, if there's a grandparent or somebody else that may be at home during the day when your child's learning, that the teacher may need to communicate with or come into contact with, we would ask that they possibly join as well. So they'll have an opportunity to meet and greet as well.
All right, so just those dates again, these were published in your acceptance letter, but just a heads up again that those grade level orientation meetings are happening next week. In your email that you're getting tomorrow, we will go ahead and publish virtual links to get you into those meetings. And those meetings will be different than the one you're in right now. It'll be a Google Meet, and so you'll be able to see the teacher team faces, hear their voices, and there'll be that two-way communication. So you will see more information on how to access that meeting link and how to get into those meetings in that email we send home tomorrow. I see a lot of questions coming into the chat, and I know Allie's trying to answer some of them, but we will also get to all of those questions at the end during our Q&A portion. Which here we are, we're at our Q&A portion. So we will start taking some questions, Allie.
Yep, so I've jotted down a couple that I either wasn't able to answer or wasn't sure of. Will these slides be shared at the end, or how can families access these slides?
Yeah, I can put them into the chat right now, actually, as you're kind of finding the next question.
Perfect. I answered one about Phi-Ed, but in general, all of our specialists have been working really hard to kind of transform their content area into something that students can do at home. So I don't know if either of you want to speak more to that, but.
Yes, our Phi-Ed teachers, all of our specialists are looking at ways that they can teach their standards from home, and then looking at the potential materials and equipment that we need to gather and get sent home to kids so that kids can access those standards. So we are certainly doing the planning around that. And we want to ensure that our Bloomington Online School students are getting the same access to learning and the same access to the standards as our face-to-face students. And so all of that is being taken into consideration and planned for as we think about materials lists and supplies and equipment that we might need. I think I alluded to it, but students will get a monthly, students will come and do a monthly pickup, or families will come to Washburn to do a monthly pickup. And in that monthly pickup are all of the materials, equipment, resources, supplies that students are going to need to do their learning for that month. So we are being very intentional and very purposeful about that balance of online and non-online activities and making sure we're planning for that. So yeah, we are definitely trying to make all of that happen in our planning right now.
We have somebody here from the hybrid model, and they're wondering if there are hybrid model meetings, because they do want to stay in the hybrid model.
I'll pass that to Andrew.
Yeah, there are no, the hybrid model is basically, hate to call it regular or normal school, but the hybrid model is students going to the brick and mortar building and participating in school. And later, August 20th, you'll find out if your child is an A day or a B day student. And at that time, there'll be a little bit more information about the hybrid model. But right now, there's still some planning going on, but there's no no thoughts to having information meetings like this, because it is basically normal school.
Holly, I did have a thing come into our question or our form that we sent out last time, saying that some people are having trouble getting the chat box to work. So I wonder if I can just pop between both if we want to open up both.
Sure. The shortened URL. So if the chat is not working for you, if you are not able to submit a question to the chat, maybe you're tuning in on your phone, we do have a website address at the top of the slide that's being presented right now. If you go to that URL, you can get access to a Google form and you could submit your question there if you're having trouble submitting questions in the chat. So maybe, Allie, I'm able to look at the chat in here. So maybe I'll look at what's coming in through YouTube and you can take a peek at what's coming in through the Google form. It looks like you did answer the Learning Pod question, correct, Allie?
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. Andrew, can you address that some families have devices that they kept for their students over the summer, and how do they return those, or how does that work?
Yeah, so on September 1st and 2nd, those will be your opportunities to come to Washburn to pick up materials from your teacher. Also pick up devices if you do not have a device. You'll get a device at that time. If you have a device that needs to be returned or exchanged, you can do that at that time as well. Also, if there's any tech issues, you have something that just kind of stopped working over the summer, bring that to school. We will have tech people available to help you with that situation. We'll also be working on kind of a property exchange, if you will. So if you have a device from Olson Elementary School and now you're part of the online school, we'll work on getting the numbers off the devices transferred over so that you become part of our system. But you'll hold on to the same device. You don't need to exchange devices. If it works fine, there's no reason to exchange it because you're coming from a different building.
Great. There's a question about potential power outages and how that would impact attendance. We are going to obviously work with families to modify attendance based on those types of things that happen. I'll let Andrew add to that because I'm sure he's maybe dealt with that during distance learning or something similar. But I will just say that our teachers are very prepared to document learning and get that out to families or students that may miss school. So, for example, all of our Google Meet learning sessions will be recorded so that families or students who cannot make it can watch those recordings. Additionally, a lot of the work that students will be doing will live in Seesaw, and so students have access to that work at any time if something were to happen, such as a power outage. Andrew, I don't know if you can respond more to attendance and how the flexibility on that.
Yeah, so hopefully we won't have any big storms go through like went through the other night. So it knocks out power to most of the district. But if you do experience any loss like that, either a natural disaster like a storm comes through, or we've all experienced our Wi-Fi or cable or whatever going out at really odd times for unknown reasons. Some guys down the street digging a hole and he cut the line. If you experience any of those situations, the first thing you should do is try to reach out to your teacher through a different means and just say, hey, lost power. Hey, we lost power, or lost internet, just to let the teacher know so they don't expect you in a chat room or a Google Meet. And then, as Holly said, the nice thing with online school is that everything is recorded and it's digital, and it does afford you some flexibility where in the morning, if you have to step away for an appointment, you can come back, get that information, and make up the work in a timely fashion so that you don't miss out. So try to contact the teacher right away if you have any issues. If you can't get through to that, as we said, call call Washburn Elementary School, call the attendance line, and just let them know what the situation is. But we definitely will work with you in any of those situations.
All right. Some other questions coming in about learning pods. So learning pods is new vocabulary for all of us, but essentially students who are learning completely online. I think families are trying to connect and form learning pods, which could mean that you're a learning pod. Your child maybe finding out who in your neighborhood is in Bloomington Online School, so your child could connect with kids outside of school. I think the other definition of a learning pod is perhaps you want to join up with another family that's doing Bloomington Online School and learn together, right? If it's a situation like that where you could share childcare back and forth, or a lot of different suggestions people or different scenarios people are coming up with to make this online learning thing work. And so we can, when we send out that Google form tomorrow to get your information, we'll provide some more information about learning pods in case you're interested.
And we did have somebody from the last session that dropped us a link to one, and that was a request that I got through the form if we could share a link. So I'll just drop that in the chat now if you want to explore what's been put together by parents.
Awesome. Thank you, Allie. I see a question here about fifth grade music. Our fifth graders in the Bloomington Online School will get to do fifth grade music. Kelly Yuriko, our music teacher, is actually, what is the word I'm looking for? Licensed. She's licensed to teach music. And so she's going to be able to do a lot of work with that. But we are also are working with our district-wide music teacher, Rick Ballou, to make sure we're providing that for our fifth graders in Bloomington Online School as well.
I have a question about GT coming in. What GT services look like?
Go ahead, Andrew.
So GT is Gifted and Talented, for those of you that don't know. The Gifted and Talented program coordinator has met with us and some teachers on 2 different occasions to kind of start planning what GT may look like in the online world. One of the things they were waiting on was to see how many students that are GT signed up for online school, see what grade levels those students are at, so they can start to plan purposefully around instruction for those students, and then seeing what staff we have available to match up those needs. So nothing in writing as of yet, but we have had a couple meetings and should have a plan for that for the gifted and talented students in the next couple weeks.
There's a question that came in about conferences. Everything in Bloomington Online School will be virtual, so your conferences with teachers will also be virtual conferences. I'm also really excited because we've built into the Bloomington Online School schedule some time at the end of each day for teachers to do one-on-one check-ins with students and families. And so I'm really excited about the fact that there'll be a lot of contact and consistent communication between our teachers and our families. But in terms of the regular scheduled conferences you're used to, we will still be doing those. They'll just be in virtual form. I see quite a few questions about class sizes. Andrew, do you want to speak to class sizes?
Yeah, so as far as class sizes go, one of the things that we've tried to stick to as far as an online school goes, again, we want to, even though we're online, we want to try to align with brick and mortar as much as we can, and class sizes is one of those areas as well. So whatever the ratio is at the building, those ratios for online would be the same or less. And so an example, at the building level, kindergarten ratio is 1 teacher to 23 students. So online, we have 23 students or less in each kindergarten classroom. And I think at the top end, 5th grade is 28.5 or 29. So there'd be a 1 to 29 ratio on the top end. But it always is the same or less as what you would find at the building.
Allie, I know you're kind of looking at what you have coming in. I see something here about the directory. As of right now, just because of data privacy, we're not allowed to share. I know a lot of people are asking, are there other students from my school that I can connect with? We are not allowed to share that information because of data privacy, which is why we've gone the directory route. So we're asking all of you to voluntarily share your information so that we can share that with other families and get you connected that way.
If a student has an appointment and will miss part of the day, do you need to call the attendance line like you would at school?
I would say just reach out to your teacher to let them know that you're, again, if you're not going to be present for that morning kickoff or morning whole group, just let the classroom teacher know. And again, the expectation would be that when you do get home or at the end of the day, make up that time, make up the work that you missed. But it's not necessary to call it in right away. If you're going to be out all day because your child's sick, yes, call in so that we can record that. And of course, you'd be still responsible for making up the work later on. But we just want to know if they're absent for the day.
Will fifth graders do band?
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about that.
Yep, I think I already spoke to that. So fifth graders will have access to band through our wonderful music teacher, but also in collaboration with Rick Ballou, who is our district-wide band teacher. I see a lot of questions coming in about devices. I don't know if you have that on your side, Allie. Our K1 students will all be getting a touchscreen tablet with a stylus to work on their fine motor. There's also the chance for them to kind of manipulate and move things. It's the same device that all of our kindergarten and first grade students will have across the district. And then our second through fifth graders will have a touchscreen Chromebook. So those devices will be provided for all Bloomington online students.
My questions have slowed down, so Holly, you can keep rolling unless I get more in.
Okay. Andrew, can you speak to if a family wants to modify their choice? Like maybe they're currently Bloomington online school, but they want to go to hybrid or hybrid flex or vice versa, what they should do?
Yeah, so right now, if that is your choice, then I don't have the email address in front of me, but on the information letter or the acceptance letter that you were sent last Friday, about 3/4 of the way down on that sheet, it talks about what to do if you have had second thoughts about being on part of the Bloomington online school. And I think there's an email address there for enrollment, something, or also a phone number that you can call and they can help you change your option. If that is the case, for anybody, we would ask that you let us know as soon as possible if you're having second thoughts, because we do have people on the wait list at all grade levels that we would like to call and get an invite out to before too long.
And it is true, Andrew, that the principals at all 10 buildings are aware of which of their students have been accepted into Bloomington Online School, correct?
Yes, through our Infinite Campus management program, all principals have access to the students from their building that have been accepted, and also students that are on a wait list from their building at each grade level.
Allie, there's a question here about our online curriculum and if it matches the curriculum in maybe the regular model of school. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yes, of course. So I would say we use the same standards. So we are given state standards for each grade level. And so our work this summer has been taking those standards and just reimagining the format through which we teach them. So we've been doing a lot of work on grouping standards under different themes in order to allow for more discussion-based learning, some more independent collaboration and project-based learning, and just allowing students to make better connections between different content areas. So we are touching on all the same standards. We're just kind of reimagining maybe the order in which we teach them or the way that we make connections between things like science and ELA. So a lot more interdisciplinary units. And I would say overall it's the same general tasks, but just reimagined. And we're also rethinking assessments too, and how we get information about students. So it'll be less long assessments at the end of units and more learning or more assessing as they're learning.
Thank you, Allie. Let's see. Allie, can you speak to what does enrichment for math and reading look like?
Yep, so I think that follows along kind of with our new imagined systems that we're using. We're really allowing for higher order thinking skills in a lot of the discussions and projects that we're asking students to do. So those will naturally allow for enrichment, but also we're teaching in small group settings. And so as we interact with each small group, we'll have planned lessons that align to where those students are at and what their needs are. So for both reading and math, they will have small group time with their teacher that allows them to really work at their level and work at what skills they most need next.
Yeah, I would just add all of our teachers are very skilled in collecting student data and using that data to inform their instruction and inform the groups they put together each day. So groups will be constantly changing based on student needs, based on their strengths, based on their what they need more support in. So differentiation is built into the curriculum that we've designed this summer. Do devices have protective cases? That's important, right? Yes, all of the devices that will be sent home do have a case that come with them. Andrew, can you speak? There's a question here about special education services and IEPs. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, so one of the things, I think we mentioned it in the important dates coming up. Around August 20th, once they're actually workshop week, which is August 24th, special ed teachers, staff will be reaching out to any families that are part of Bloomington Online School that have an IEP or any special education questions. And we'll meet with those families to discuss Bloomington Online School and programming model and to see how the program fits with their needs and make any decisions on program changes at that time. So look for a meeting from probably your case manager sometime in the next couple weeks.
Thanks, Andrew. All right, there's a question.
Can I ask one off of that?
Yeah.
With the IEPs, what happens if there's a kindergartner that will need an IEP as the year goes on?
Yeah, so that'll follow the same model as we would in the traditional school. So we'll have an individual student support team, which is a group of specialists such as, and I use the word specialist, such as principal, intervention teacher, classroom teacher, social worker. That group of people meet with the teacher and discuss the student's needs and then decide on some interventions to try with that child before moving on to a possible evaluation for special ed services. So again, we're an online school, which is new and different, but we are trying to align with a brick and mortar building in a lot of ways as well. One of those being around special education, IEPs, and also with students that may have a 504 in place or the need to have one.
All right. The next question is, do students have to use the district provided devices? Yes, we are asking that students use the district provided devices just because for our teachers, it's really nice to have all of the students on a consistent device so that they can plan for that device and they can troubleshoot with the same device. It impacts some of the things they might be sending out and some of the different things they might be doing with students. So we do ask that students use the district provided device for school. Andrew, can you speak to the question, what's the difference between Bloomington Online School and Flex?
Good question. So Bloomington Online School, again, is different in the fact that we're all making commitments, right? You as a family are making a one-year commitment. we as a district and our teachers are making a 1-year commitment to you as families. And so we're looking to stay together for that full year, providing you with a curriculum that's the same as they would receive inside the brick and mortar building. You will receive direct instruction each day, with Wednesdays off. And so we're trying to make the Bloomington Online School a very seamless, quality educational product. Not to say that the Flex isn't a quality product, but the Flex is different in the fact that you will still follow the hybrid model, meaning that your child will either be getting online instruction either on Monday, Thursday, or a Tuesday, Friday rotation. And it might not be, that online instruction might not be to the extent of the online instruction that you're going to get from Bloomington Online School. And then also on your off days, there won't be that constant one-to-one, I should say constant, but opportunities for that one-to-one interaction that we have with Bloomington Online School.
I have a question coming in about attendance requirements for the online school.
Yeah, so again, no matter what model you're in, Bloomington Online School, the hybrid or the flex, the requirement is that you are being present each and every day. And so what that means is, again, going to the hybrid or the flex model, if you're supposed to be in school on Monday and Thursday, and then checking in with the teacher on Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, then the expectation is that you are checking in on those days. Bloomington Online School, same thing every day. There's that expectation that you're checking in and meeting those attendance requirements. And then, as we alluded to earlier, if you have an appointment, you're going to run out to the dentist at 9:30 and you're back at 10:30, you can contact the teacher so they know where you're at. You make it up, and we go on with our day. If you're going to be sick and off all day, contact the teacher or contact the attendance line to address that issue. But if you completely stop checking in and there's no communication, then we follow the same rules that we would follow for a traditional school model, where after 6 unexcused absences, we need to call, it's the Hennepin County attendance team, the Hennepin County attorney, and they monitor attendance issues for students in Hennepin County anytime we have 6 or more unexcused absences. So long and short of it, we want you to be there each and every day. We're making a commitment to you, and we want you to make a commitment back to us. So, and I think we alluded to this earlier as well, like the electricity going out, losing your internet connection, we're here to help in any way, shape, or form. And so sometimes we have resources out there to help you. So if you do find yourself in a situation where your child's missing school, whatever the reason, let us know, and maybe we can help you solve that problem.
We talked GT and special ed, but what about EL, reading core, other support students might receive?
Yeah, so some of those are still kind of a work in progress because they require conversations with directors of other programs such as EL. And like we talked about with gifted and talented, we're having conversations with that group of people. But there will be EL services. How that will look, we don't have that in writing right now, but we do know we will have EL support. We will have gifted and talented support. Reading core is something that individual buildings need to apply for. Washburn Elementary School is a Minnesota Reading Core site, so we will have a tutor inside Washburn Elementary School. But at this point in time, the Bloomington Online School is not part of Minnesota Reading Core. And just as a side note, Reading Core has not been, up until recently with the arrival of COVID-19, they had very strict rules about how they worked with students. They have changed their rules of engagement a little bit, knowing that schools may be in a hybrid model or every other day. So again, Bloomington Online School will not have the reading course support just because we're brand new and the application window has closed. So that may be something that we will have in the future. And then also intervention program is a program that we have at some of the buildings. And that is another one of those programs that as we are working through what our curriculum looks like, what our teaching staff looks like, and what the needs are of our students and families, that may be something that we add at some point in time. And we as a team will talk more about that, but there's nothing in the works right now solidified as far as intervention support for students.
All right, we are coming up on that 6:45 mark, so I think we are going to start to wrap up. If you put a question in the chat that did not get answered, we want to still make sure that question does get answered. So if you look at the slide that's currently displayed, you can see a URL there, bit.ly/boss information. It is CAPS specific. You can submit further questions there. That's one place to submit questions. There's also a form or a link to a form in your acceptance letter, and we're taking questions in that location as well. So please continue to send your questions in. As I said, each meeting we have will give you more specific information. So please come to the orientation meetings next week, and we'll have more specific information at those meetings as well. We appreciate all of you taking your time tonight to join our welcome and info session. We are so excited to work with you this year in the Bloomington Online School, and just thankful that you've all taken the leap of faith to join us in this journey. And we're very excited to work with you and have a great year in Bloomington Online School. Andrew, do you want to say anything?
No, thank you again. Thank you for joining us. We know there are lots of questions and we want to answer all those questions, and know that some things we don't have answers to right now because we're still developing those things, because Bloomington Online School is fresh and new, and we are trying to think outside the box a little bit with our programming and how we do things so that it is different and unique in comparison to other educational experiences you've had. So thank you. Again, get your questions in. My emails and phone number are linked into our slideshow here that you have access to. So reach out with any questions, concerns you have, and we look forward to seeing you next week at the grade level meetings.
And I just wanted to give a quick shout out to our fabulous kindergarten teacher, Allie Kalkman, for joining us tonight and fielding questions. So thank you, Allie, for joining us. And we will see all of you at the meetings next week. Thank you.
Bye-bye.